Hey guys, and welcome to the Woolen Homestead. This is a video podcast all about knitting, spinning, and hand dyeing yarn. You can find me on various social media as the Woolen Homestead, as well as the yarn that my husband and I dye at thewoolenhomestead.etsy.com. You'll also find links below in the description box to all those places. So Happy New Year, everybody! Today is January 2nd, and 2018, which is crazy. And I'm so glad to be back podcasting again. So last time I podcasted was beginning of December, and then I started doing Vlogmas, and I loved doing Vlogmas. It was so much fun, so I definitely want to do that again. We've kind of just kept vlogging, my husband and I, so you'll probably see them pop up on the channel from now and then. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I just didn't find time to actually do any like official podcasting throughout the month of December because of that. So I'm glad to be back talking with you guys and showing off what I've got. I thought I would start out with some group news. So we do have a group for the podcast on Ravelry. It's under the Woolen Homestead in the groups tab, and we currently just wrapped up the 2017 Basket of Mittens Knit Along, and we're actually starting again for a 2018 version. But so for the one that just wrapped up, I drew a prize from the FO thread, and it was a skein of yarn. It's our DK yarn, our Pullworth DK, and this is Dr. Filibuster's Fireworks. I always want to call it Fiberworks, but that works too, I guess. But this is a Harry Potter reference, so this would be great for mittens. We do have this colorway in the shop, but this one is going to be headed off to Canada, I believe. So I tagged the person in the group, so if that was you, please get me your information and I will get this on its way to you. So let's see here. Next up, I want to talk about, we just started the Battle the Brioche Knit Along. So that started yesterday on January 1st. And basically for that, works in progress will be allowed. So any brioche projects that you've been working on can totally be entered into this. There's no official finished objects thread because this is more of a, like, you don't need to finish anything during this. It's just more of a let's work on brioche together. So the more you post in the chatter thread, the better of your chances of winning a prize. So also I wanted to say that if there are any makers out there or pattern designers that want to donate to that knit along or to the Basket of Mittens knit along, feel free to contact me through Ravelry or Instagram, and I would be happy to promote you on the podcast. So let's see. Also, I wanted to talk about some of the different topics that we have in the thread in the group. We have the Show Your Woolen Homestead Pride thread. So if you have knit with our yarn, feel free to post a picture in there. It's just kind of fun to show off what you've been working on, and it's really fun for us to see what you guys have knit with our yarn. And then there's also an introductions thread, and then we also have an ask away thread. So any questions you have for us, feel free to post in there. So I thought for this episode, instead of talking about all of my works in progress and things like that, because I have quite a few going now, and since it's been so long, I thought what I would do is show off the finished objects that I've finished since the last time we spoke, and then instead of showing off my works in progress, I think I'm going to talk about my 2017 wrap up, so things that I've knit and things that I accomplished, and then maybe some goals for 2018. And then I thought I'd show you some things that are knitting related that I got for Christmas, and then what's going on in the shop, and then what's going on in our life. So first, for the finished objects, I only finished 2 things since I talked to you guys last. But one of the things that I finished were my birthday sock cast on. So I cast these on, my birthday is May 29th, it was the end of May when I cast these on, and I just finished them a few weeks ago, but it was using a sock blank from Knitty and Color. And then the heel is Knox Yarn Company, and I just love this color. I use this in my fade, and I just love it. But yeah, I think that this sock blank was just too fun, so I really, really loved that. And the other that I finished were my Christmas socks. Now these have been worn and loved and washed and everything, so they're freshly washed, but you can already see there's a little bit of pilling. But yeah, these were very, very much loved. I wore these a lot after I finished them. So, and this was using our old soft sock base with the sparkle in it, but you can't really see the sparkle, but we do not carry this base anymore. So we carry a sturdy sock base, which is, these are all from a different supplier, and then we carry a Polworth DK base, a singles base, and a merino cashmere nylon base. So, but yeah, I'm very, very happy. This is our vintage Christmas colorway. And yeah, and then I just dyed up some red and green colors for the heels, cuffs, and, or for the heels and toes. So those are my finished objects, so not that many. But that's not what's important, is about how many things we finished, is it? So I'm trying to remind that for myself. Sometimes I get caught up in comparing, you know, myself with how many things other people have knit, you know, throughout the year, and think, oh, I haven't done as much. And actually that's kind of one of the things I want to go into the new year doing, is trying not to compare myself to others, you know, that maybe are faster knitters. Yeah, I just think those are good words to live by. So for a 2017 wrap up, what I did finish, and I am very proud with what I finished, I ended up knitting 5 socks for myself, and I actually do have my box of socks here. So it's not an official, you know what I mean, like I did not participate in the knit along because some of these socks were started in 2016, so they wouldn't count, but I did finish them in 2017. So this is my little box that I have. This is the same box I used last year. I got this at Michael's, and I just think it's really cute, and honestly this will probably always be my box of socks. I do think it's fun that whatever socks I finish throughout the year, I put them in a box, and then at the beginning of the next year open up to a whole, you know, brand new set of socks. So we've got the Christmas socks and the birthday cast on socks, and then we've got these socks, which are from Caitlin of Mint Rain Hand Dyed Yarns. This is her Spring Dreams colorway. I'm really excited to wear these. Now none of these have been worn yet. The birthday socks haven't been worn yet either. And then I finished these at the beginning of this last year. This is Spun Right Round. This is on her Snappy Sock base, which is a Corriedale. I think it's called Snappy Sock, but it was a Corriedale base, and she doesn't carry this anymore. But I love this. And this is actually the vanilla is the new black heel. So that's kind of cool. I'm really curious to see how this like wears for me. It fit a little loose because I found out that this heel is actually good for like a high instep, which I don't have. But I was listening to the Knit More Girls podcast, and Gigi was talking about how she modified it for somebody who doesn't have a high instep. So I want to go back and listen to that and see how she did that. And that was the candy colorway. And then these, oh my gosh, these are my favorites of 2017. These were my Christmas Eve cast on last year from 2016. And this is yarn that I spun from Countess Ablaze. And I made them into socks. And it is 100% merino. So I know this is not the best for socks, but I love them. They're incredibly soft. I love how they turned out, and they're just so fun. And then I just stuck little pink heels and toes in. But I'm really, really excited to wear those. Just curious to see how they last. So there's my little box, and now I can empty it and start all over. So it's really, I don't know, it's just really fun. So yeah, I knit 5 socks for me this year, and then I knit 2 other pairs of socks, but they were gifts. So there was a pair for Ethan, and then a pair for my mom, which I can finally talk about now. That was my secret Christmas knitting, was a pair of socks for my mom. I gave them to her when we went down last week, and she was so excited. So it was Opal, and it was the Klangwelten series, and the Componiste is the colorway. And so I I'm assuming Komponist means composer in German, and I don't know the exact direct translation, but I know it's like a music line. And they all had, on the yarn balls, they all had like piano keys on the top, and my mom was a piano teacher, and they, like, my family owned a music store for like a good 20 some years, and even longer than that, because my dad was a piano tuner. Like, music has been a huge part of our lives, and so it was just so perfect to give my mom those specific socks. So she loved them, and I gave her the ball band as well, because I just thought it was too perfect. So yeah, I couldn't wait to share that with you guys, that was what the secret Christmas knitting was. The other thing that I finished this year was my Madewell cardigan. That had been cast on in 2016, but I finished it this year. I also started and finished the Lucinda sweater. I finished a shawl that had been started in 2016, but I completely knit the Find Your Fade shawl in 2017. And so that's probably where all my sock knitting time went, to be honest, now that I think about it. Because the Find Your Fade shawl is huge. But the other shawl that I knit was the Campside shawl by Alicia Plummer, so I finished that one this year. I also knit a brioche cowl and 2 pairs of mittens. They were both the cruiser mitts. And I knit one for me and then a pair for my friend. And then let's see, another thing that I knit was the Vintage Prim hat by Andrea Mowry. And then I knit a small dog sweater as well. So that is it for what I have knit in 2017. I have plenty of things still on the needles. And I think that I'm going to go into 2018 goals as far as knitting. So I know a lot of people, you talk about, you know, finishing everything up and clearing off the needles, and I think that would be great to do that, but I've been thinking I'm wondering if maybe what I need more of is just finding balance. So, you know, maybe getting my needles to where it's, you know, maybe a handful of projects, like 3 on the needles, and you know, seeing how balancing that works versus having, you know, 10 projects on the needles, or I don't even know what I have right now, to be honest. But I know I've got 2 scrap blankets for sure, and that takes up a lot. And I always, you know, I always try to think about, okay, should I include my scrap blankets as, you know, a project, because they're kind of just something going on in the background. But then I also find out if I don't think of them as projects, I don't work on them either, because I'm so worried about getting the other ones done. So that's also something else that I want to do is, you know, make time to work on my scrappy blankets, like at least once a week, that they're consistently getting worked on, because I do love doing it. I worked on them quite a bit during the month of December, and I loved it. It was very like fulfilling and just enjoyable. So I'd like to try and plan that. I'm really sorry if you can hear the dogs outside. I think that's Benny. He's oh no, that's my dog, that's Ella. Not surprised, she's the barky one. So okay, I think they're done barking. So another thing I would really like to do, and I know a lot of people say this as well, but I really would like to primarily knit from stash this year. I'm not saying that I'm going to go on a yarn diet or that I'm not going to buy yarn at all. To be honest, more of the problem is now that, you know, there's 2 yarn dyers in the house. I just, like, Ethan will dye something up, I'm like, I want to knit with that, you know, and I just keep adding to my stash that way, really, and it's kind of funny. But he dyes some really awesome stuff. I can't wait to show you guys what else he's dyed since yesterday. It's amazing. But yeah, so that's, but I don't want to say, you know, I can't knit with my own yarn that we've dyed, you know, like, I think that's kind of silly too. So but I think I'm just going to try to, you know, make a point of, you know, when I want to cast on something, you know, go through my stash and see what I've got, because my stash is in, I do have, you know, up here, that's my fingering weight stash, but I have some bins downstairs that have like my heavier weight yarn, and I don't knit as much with those. So, and right now I'm currently kind of getting the itch to do like some more mittens and hats and things like that. So, you know, before it gets warm, I want to, you know, kind of really focus on maybe knitting some of like the thicker projects and things like that. And then, you know, as we go into spring and summer, maybe working on some of my lighter weight projects like socks and, you know, some shawls and stuff like that. So, that's kind of what I mean when I say I want to primarily knit from my stash. But by no means am I not going to buy yarn. So now some project goals that I have. The Gin and Tonic sweater by Theo Coleman. I actually cast on for it on Christmas Day. And I was going to wait until yesterday, till January 1st. And I'm actually glad I didn't, because I was supposed to have the day off, but I actually had to go into work to cover. So I wouldn't have been able to really cast on yesterday. I didn't really have the headspace. So I'm glad that I did cast on December 25th. So I cast on for that. I will probably talk about that a little more. Well, I've got it right here. Just really quick. This is the yarn that I am using for it. This is actually going to be a new colorway of ours. This is actually one that I dyed, and this is called Mauvelous because it's mauve. And I really love this, and I just think, you know, it'd be really nice to have some more tonals. We also put out on Instagram, we asked if you guys wanted to see, and you guys had said some more tonals. So, and I had already dyed that one up. So we do have more tonals coming your way. So very, very excited. I've been wanting to knit this sweater for the last couple of years, and the yarn just has not been right. So I'm really, really excited that I finally got the right yarn for it. I'm really, really happy with how I dyed it and everything. So I'm so excited. So I want to finish that sweater this year. I'm already putting that out there. I want to get that sweater so bad to have it by next winter. And then I also want to spin more frequently. So at first I was going to say spin daily, but I know if I put that, there are just going to be some days where you know, I just maybe even don't have the energy to spin like that bad, you know. So I don't want to say, you know, that I have to spin every day, but just to spin more frequently. I've got my spinning wheel right here. It's way more accessible than it was before we have this set up. So it's a lot easier for me to just get it out and spin and set it up. So that's really, really nice. And I really want to get more technical with my spinning and just, you know, amp it up a little bit. So really, really hoping for that. Another sweater that I want to knit this year, and I might be pushing it with 2 sweaters based on all the other projects that I have, but it's called All the Love by Joji Locatelli. I remember I was watching The Grocery Girls, and I think Tracy had shown the picture of it like months ago, and it must have been in testing at the time, and she didn't even say what it was. She just had a picture of it and said that it was a new pattern by Joji. And I remember thinking I missed the release of it or something, and I kept like looking for it in Joji's patterns and I couldn't find it. And then I think it was just around Christmas time she released it, and actually all the proceeds go to a charity in her country. And so I think it's really, really, really great, and I think it's just such a good cause, and I love the sweater. So I really want to knit that. It's a nice oversized sweater, and it's just got some nice little lace work on it, and I think that would be great. So that's my other project plan. Other than that, I'm really, like I put down here that I want to work on my scrappy projects once a week. Loving those. I really, really want to do that. But other than that, just I think my main thing is going to be just to find balance. Whether that's, you know, only having 3 things on, or, you know, I don't know. I want to try and find some balance with it and not, you know, feel the rush of having to knit the newest pattern and the, you know, what everyone else is knitting. There's always that fear of missing out feeling, and I want to try to stay away from that. So, because that's no fun to feel like that. So, yeah, I think those are going to be my goals. So, other than that, I thought I would go over some knitting related things that I got for Christmas. So I forgot to grab them out, but I did get some knitting needles. I got some Hiya Sharp size US 1. Those are already on a sock pattern right now, or on a sock work in progress right now. And I also got a pair of Chogu 9-inch circulars, and then which I'm glad I got more sock needles, because I'd asked for them because I want to have I want to switch up the way I do my sock knitting and have 2 at a time, but not 2 on one circular needle. So I want to have you know, a pair of socks on either the 9-inch circulars, you know, like I have both socks of the same project on 2 separate needles. There we go. So that's kind of how I want to do my knitting from now on, or my sock knitting. And I've started doing that and I really, really like it. So that's working out. I also got, oh my gosh, this was a huge surprise. Huge surprise. Ethan last minute surprised me with a pair of signature needles for my Cozy Memories blanket. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. So I was totally enabled by Sue and Chelsea of the Legacy Knits podcast. They had talked about how, you know, they had these special needles for their blanket, for their scrappy blanket, and they said it was very much a treat yourself kind of purchase. And I had been using a pair of needles. They were metal needles, and they were just some that you know, I had got from my mom, and she just kind of had them. She might have even gotten them from a garage sale, and they worked just fine, but the tip was kind of blunt on it. And so these tips are very, very pointy, and doing those decreases, it just makes it really nice to have that sharp tip. So I had asked for them, but then I was kind of like, oh, you know, don't worry about it. I told Ethan, I was like, you know, they're kind of a lot of money, and we're on a budget this year, and you know, like a more of a strict budget, and so I just said, don't worry about it, you know. But he knew that I really, really wanted them, so he got them anyways, which I thought was so sweet. Such a surprise. So I couldn't believe that. So I also got, and I mentioned this on our vlog, but a subscription to Fly magazine. My in-laws got me this, so I really wanted to amp up my spinning technique, and I'm just so excited. There's so much knowledge in this, and I love that there's only 4, because there's so much to this that this is going to give me enough time before the next one comes out to read cover to cover, and you know, kind of just take it all in. So I'm really excited about that. And then I got some books, but those are over there, and I'm gonna get those down last. Then I also got, this is so sweet, I got a project bag from my mother-in-law that she made for me. And I asked for like a really big one, because I was starting to run out of room for my like my blanket projects and like sweater projects. I just didn't have big enough I didn't have big enough bags for it, and so it's got these sweet little puppies on it, and I love it so much. And then she made me, so there's a pocket here too in the front, but she made me these sweet little gems to go on the front, and oh my god, I just love it. I already put my minis in here. This is got my granny straight blanket in here, so I put minis in here that are going to be going in next, and I just love this. And so she also made it, because it's a drawstring, but she also made it that you can clip it on the side, so if you like, you don't want to carry it like this, you can. And it's just huge, and I love it. So cute. I love this so much. So very, very happy to have that. And then she also made me, it came in this cute little bag. This was in my stocking. Some cute little stitch markers. So I'll get some of them out. I already started using a good portion of them, actually, because there was a lot of them, and I was like, oh, I just wanted to add them to everything. And it's just this really fun mix that she'd made. So there's a little T. And there's some like this. Little stitch markers, and progress keepers. And they have those like earring clasps, so you can either use it as a stitch marker or a progress keeper, which I love. Some of them were gold. Little owl. But yeah, they are just too darn cute. They're very feminine, and I love it. So yeah, I added those to a bunch of my projects. Like I said, next time I'll show what I've been working on and things like that. Oh, and then for my mom, I love this so much. She made me a little Christmas peckle ornament. She crocheted it. Isn't he adorable? So she said what she did was a friend of hers had sent her a pattern for a knitted one. And then she modified it for crochet, which I thought was really cool because I am not good at that. I can't do that at all. So I just thought that was really, really neat. And I just love his face. We don't have a Christmas pickle ornament, so I just love this so much. And then if you don't know the story of the Christmas pickle, what it is I don't know where this originated. Where this, I want to say it's German, but I don't know for sure. What it is you have like a little Christmas pickle ornament, and the parents put the pickle on the tree, and then I want to say it's on Christmas morning, so they don't put it up until, I'm assuming, Christmas Eve. Because we actually didn't do this when I was little, but I learned about it later on, and I just think it's adorable. And so I believe the parents put it up on Christmas Eve, and then the first child on Christmas morning to find the Christmas pickle gets like an extra little gift. So it's just kind of a cute little tradition. We actually got one for my sister because she's got 3 little girls. Actually, they're not that little anymore. They're about 12, 11, and 10, which is crazy to me, but we got that for them last year. And so now I've got my own Christmas pickle, and I just think he's so cute. So thank you, Mom. I love him. And then she also made me some washcloths. I actually do not have any handmade washcloths of my own. I think well, now that I think about it, I haven't made any of my own. I think I may have gotten a few for our bridal shower. But we currently have that stuff packed away. So I think I got some there. But other than that, I don't have any. So, and I just like that it's like pretty like Eastery colors, and I just love it. So thank you, Mom. And then oh, and then from my in-laws, I also got the Gleaner. I've been wanting one of these so bad. So I asked for the pink one and I've already given this a go on some of my sweaters, and it is amazing. And then this end, which you can already see I use that as well, it's for lint. Oh my gosh. And dog hair. Mainly for dog hair here, but oh my gosh. So it is definitely worth the money, and it's definitely living up to the hype for sure. I love it. Highly recommend it. So I guess now I'm going to grab the knitting books that I got. So one of the books that I got was the Cast On Bind Off book, which I think is really, really nice. It's literally just all cast-ons and bind-offs. So, and it just shows you like how to do them. It's got the cast-ons for like toe-up socks, like 2 different ways to do them, and it's got a ton of them that I've never even heard before. Yeah, there's Judy's Magic Cast On for toe-up socks and different bind-offs, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. It's got the Icelandic bind-off, which that is what I used for my Find Your Fade shawl. That was the bind-off I used. I also got Harvesting Color. So this is all about natural dyeing, and I am so excited to get my paws on this and check it out and just get some ideas and to give natural dyeing a try. It's really, really something that I've wanted to do, and maybe after a while this would be something that we could offer in the shop as, a couple of natural dyed yarns. I just really like the idea of that. Also got the Spinner's Book of Fleece. I actually rented this from the library a couple of times, and as well as this other book that I'm going to show you. But I found out I kept referring to these books, and I'm like, I could really use these, so I decided to ask for these for Christmas. Because what I'm finding is that a lot of the spinning things that I want to find out, like about different breeds and stuff, I can't really find online. So I find myself needing to look into reference books. So I'm really, really happy to have these. Actually, I just thought of another goal that I wanted to do, and I forgot to write it down, was I have the Yarn-A-Texture book, And I got this last year for Christmas. And I had started to read this cover to cover, and I really, really want to do that this year and finish it because this is a great book. If you are a spinner or wanting to spin, love this book. Love it. So this is definitely one that I want to read this year for sure. So this baby, this is like the spinner's Bible. This is insane. This has so much in it, so much information, and just the best. I think this is going to be the best reference book to have. Just so much. So really excited. I haven't dove into actually many of these yet. I just have not had the time, but really excited. This book I wanted when I saw this on a podcast, Woolen Spinning, the Woolen Spinning podcast. She's actually one of the models in here. But this book is from Felicia Lowe, who is the creator of Sweet Georgia Yarns. So she came out with this book, and then Rachel, who hosts the Woolen Spinning podcast, she's one of the models for this. So that was too cool. I remember when she showed that, I was like, oh, that's awesome. So, but I thought this would be a really, really cool book. It's got a lot of patterns in it too. But I feel like it's just going to have a lot of like interesting things about, you know, different ways to dye and like ways to apply color and things like that. So very, very excited about that. I would love to in the future be able to offer in the shop like spinning fiber, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. But that is something that I really, really want to offer. For sure. That's it for the books that I got. So that's my little Christmas haul segment. But I guess other than that, I will show you guys what is currently in the shop and then what's going to be in the shop. There'll be a shop update this Friday, January 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we will have is, and these are still a little damp because he just dyed these last night, so we are going to have Earl Grey back, which we haven't had this in a while. So this has a light gray base with all these speckles in it. Once again, I just love how my husband dyes speckles. I just think he does such a great job. And we also, I mentioned before that we put it out on Instagram what you guys wanted to see. And you said more tonals, so he dyed up some tonals for the shop. So this is kind of like a dusty purple color, and I don't think any of these don't have names yet, I don't believe, except for, you know, ones that were already colorways. But I really like that. And so what we also did was we tried to make it so that they would pair with other colorways really well. And like vast colors, not just like one colorway. So another popular one is Solstice Twilight. And so there's gonna be more of that. Look at these speckles here. So beautiful. So that's Solstice Twilight. If you want to see what it looks like knit up, I did start my Christmas Eve cast on socks in this colorway. Ooh, and I lost some stitches. Awesome. So we'll have to fix that. But here is what the colorway looks like. So it's just very, very soft. And he also dyed up this tonal green, which go really well with dragon egg. Yum. So there's that, and there's also like a golden yellow. And this really, really pretty blue. Oh my gosh. Love it. So those are the new colorways coming to the shop this Friday. And what we've got in the shop currently, we have on the singles base, we have Baby It's Cold Outside, So Fetch on Sturdy Sock, because because I love my Mean Girls. Back to the Fuchsia on Sturdy Sock. Which, if you've been following along, I will be getting back to my Stephen West Speckle and Pop shawl, which this colorway is in it. I will be getting back to that. I've decided to not frog it, and then I am going to finish it. We've got Hagrid's Happy Hour on MCN. Oh, I love this. Oh, love it. Purple Poppy on Sturdy Sock. We have one of this one-of-a-kind colorway, Feliz Navidad. And this is Dragon Egg. We have Sugar Plum Fairy on Sturdy Sock. We have Hagrid's Happy Hour on Polworth DK. We have Dr. Filibuster's Fireworks on Polworth DK. Blueberry Crumb Cake on Sturdy Sock. Candy Cornucopia on Sturdy Sock. Hoarfrost on Sturdy Sock. Aurora on Sturdy Sock. Hogsmeade Holiday on Sturdy Sock. So that is it for what is in the shop and what's coming to the shop. So last but not least, I'm gonna do just some life stuff updates. We did Vlogmas for the month of December. If you do want to check those out, there is a playlist on the YouTube channel here, so you can go check that out if you want. And like I said before, we're still vlogging, so yeah, feel free to catch up with us and see what we are up to. I also want to talk about, I talked about this on my Vlogmas, but because I have these notes from the last time I was going to podcast and then I wasn't able to, but my brother-in-law, both of my brother-in-laws actually are in the art program here in the local community college, and one of my brother-in-laws, Tim, painted a painting of my dog Ella, and I just thought it was the sweetest thing. It just made my day, it made my Christmas, and I adore it. It's just, it means so much to me. I've always wanted like a drawing or a painting of her, and it's just the most special thing to me. So it's actually right up there, and it's actually next to my dad's painting. So the painting of my dad that my father-in-law had painted. So it's kind of special because my dad loved Ella. He saw her as a puppy and just loved her so much. So I thought it was perfect that they were right next to each other. But yeah, I'm over the moon still over that painting. So and I don't think Tim watches the podcast. I'm assuming he doesn't because he doesn't knit, but I am planning on as a thank you, I'm planning on surprising him with like a knitted hat. So I'm actually currently testing a pattern right now, and so I'm hoping that one will fit him. What I'm doing is I'm knitting the initial hat for my husband, and then I figured I could have Tim try it on and see if it works. So that's my sneaky plan, and then I'm gonna knit him another one. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, so that was just totally made it for me. I just thought of something else that was knitting related that I got for Christmas, which was from my brother-in-law Tim, was a mug, and it says keep calm and keep knitting. So I'll have to make sure I bring that up next time. Maybe I'll drink that for my tea mug. This week I've got coffee this morning because it's early. Well, earlier than I usually podcast. It's about 9 a.m. But I got these at Target. I love them so much. It says wifey, and then I got one for my husband that says hubby. And so he actually made me some coffee in the French press that he got for Christmas, and he brought it up to me this morning, so that was sweet. But it's very good. And that's just like folders in there, and it's amazing. So yeah, I'm a big fan. So other than that, I am really excited because at 11 a.m. today, I am going for a massage, and I'm so excited. Ethan had surprised me and booked me one. I was at work on Saturday night, because every Saturday night I work at PetSmart in the grooming salon until 9 p.m. So we were cleaning up and you know, throwing out trash and things, and I was walking to the back, and all of a sudden I got an email notification on my phone, and it said that I had a massage appointment to confirm my massage appointment, and I was like, what? Because they're like my favorite thing. I've had I had one. We went last year for a couples massage for our anniversary, and that was like an official one that I had done, but I had a couple, but I didn't pay for them. It was one I won through work. And then there was another one that there was a lady who needed to get her massage therapy hours in, and so she was working at the place where my mom had done her physical therapy for when she broke her wrist, and so we got massages that way too. But so they're like my favorite thing, but I feel really bad, you know, spending the money on it. So I never book them. And but he surprised me with one, so that was just the coolest thing ever. So I'm so excited to do that. So that's why I'm recording a little bit earlier than usual, and honestly this is kind of nice. I might try to do this more often to just get it going right at the beginning of the day. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. So a little bit longer of an episode than usual, but I wanted to catch up with you guys, and that's why I decided to not bring in my works in progress this time. So hopefully I will see you guys next week and update you with what I'm working on and how my goals are going. And yeah, so feel free to join the Ravelry group, join in the knit-alongs, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.